Hi, my name's Councillor Chris Reedy, and I'm a Cabinet Member at Wigan Council for Communities and Neighbourhood, and it covers quite a wide range of kind of topics, and one being PR. One of the things that what I really wanted to do was set up a podcast, and we've done that in conjunction with the college, which has been really helpful. Otherwise, I don't think I'd have been able to do it with the work that's involved in it. So real thanks to them, a real partnership kind of role. Why do I want to do a podcast? Is to link in the communities. What I don't want it to be is political, so it won't be a political podcast. It'll be about everybody. But what's interesting today, I'm at the college with, this is the launch of the podcast, which is going to be called Ready and Willing. My name's Chris Reedy. It's spelled ready. There's a play on words, so that's where the wording comes from. But it's great that I've got Rebecca here from the college, who's studying photography and really into that, who wants to probably ask me a few questions of why what I'm doing and who I am.
Lovely to be here. Thank you for having me on. So first question is, how did you become a councillor?
So I've been on the council since 1996. I was always involved in the community before that, actively in my own community, but I was involved in the trade union movement. So you go on lots of courses with the trade union, and on that you meet people, and there was councillors on that course. I didn't even know what a councillor was. I didn't even know what parties was. I didn't know anything. So after a couple of years, it was like, join this, do this, and then you just get into it. Stood for election, won, and touch wood, I've managed to win every election since. Really privileged that I represent the area that I've always lived, which comes with its benefits and not, because naturally everybody knows you. So you get all the questions every day, and if things go wrong, you get the blame. But in essence, it's a really good job to have.
It does sound good. And what is your proudest achievement that you've had so far in your career?
That's probably a difficult one, but naturally I've been involved in lots of community groups and all the stuff that we've done. Locally, we've got a community group there in a community centre which is set up, which is called the One House in Aspel, which is in my area. That would have been demolished and houses would have been built on it, but we challenged that with support of the community and kept that, so it's now a thriving community centre, so that's one. But one thing I've always been keen on is thanking other people. And in 2000, I set up some community awards in the community for people who've done things. So saying thank you to other people, because without them doing what I can only be a mouthpiece and open doors for people, it's them people who do the work. So probably a great achievement is for me to say thanks to them and organise them awards, which have become borough-wide, and we're still doing them. So next year, I'm going to do some Lifetime Achievement Awards, because it's 25 years since I did them first awards, which makes me feel quite old. And time goes on really quick. So I think for you, as a young student, in a few years you'll be moving on, and time goes really quick. But I think there's lots of things really. I think as a council, we're kind of really strong movement, and when you're working with people every day, that's probably the biggest achievement, is bringing everybody together.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'd be proud to look back on what you've done.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. I think what we do, we kind of just move forward, don't we? But we need to think more about that.
Definitely. So, why are you making this podcast, and what are you hoping to achieve moving forward?
So, naturally, podcast seems to be the thing moving forward. I've wanted to do it for quite a while, but there's a lot of work goes into doing a podcast, whether it's producing it, whether it's editing it, and all the things. So, without Wigan and Leigh College and the help that all the team behind the scenes here, I wouldn't be able to do it. It just wouldn't happen. So that's why that gave me that kind of front into it. But I wanted it to hear about the people who were behind the scenes. So Andy Burnham would be one of the people who'd be coming on our shows. We've got different people coming in, but I want to know about the real people behind. We all know what Andy does as Mayor of Greater Manchester. I know Andy quite well, but I want to know about the real Andy Burnham. I want to know like the people who work in the communities. Who are the people behind that things? Not all the things that we read in the paper. Who are the real people behind things like that? So your politicians, everybody's a person, and everybody's got a lifestyle. Let's talk about them people. Then you can move into some of the things that they've done. But I think it's interesting for people to know who them people are. Yeah. So we want to know how Andy Burnham started his career. What have been his highlights of that? But not only in politics, in life.
Sounds great. And what guests have you got lined up, or you've got hoped to line up for the podcast?
Well, so we've had lots of interest, and that's with the help of the college. But I think we're going to have a variation of communities, businesses, sports, and politicians, but all linking into that jigsaw of communities. So not just one and the other. And I'm really clear that I don't want it to be a political podcast, not one essence of that. So people can forget about that straight away. This is about communities and people and all them businesses who are working in our communities, but also the leaders in our communities and the leaders. So I'm hoping to get national people in and probably some international people. I've been speaking to some people in Australia who do similar things, and they've said that they might get involved with it, and we might have to do some filming over there and kind of tie in that. That's where I'll need the expertise of the college to kind of work that together. But I think that'll be important because worldwide stuff usually is all very similar.
Yeah, definitely. It does sound good. And what does an average day look like for a councillor like yourself?
Well, I'm probably a bit different than most councillors. I'm more zany and out there. But councillors do different things. So within the structure, you've got backbench councillors who are in the communities daily doing what they do in their patches. You've also got a cabinet system at Wigan. So 8 people are on the cabinet. There's 75 councillors at Wigan. 8 of those are on the cabinet, very similar to the government structure. So each one of them will have a portfolio. You've got social services one, you've got adult services, you've got children's, housing. So you've got all the kind of key factors. Mine covers the communities and all the sports. And the leader of the council calls me the Minister for Fun. So clearly I've got a fun job. So, we've got all that, but people's variations. So over the last few months, under my brief, is libraries and communities. I've been visiting all the libraries that we've got 15 libraries in Wigan and all over the borough, and visiting the staff there and people and looking how we can make them sustainable in the future. I also go out there to community groups on a daily basis to see the people. So when we get things on paper, I know them groups, because you can read anything off a piece of paper, but you don't understand the people behind it.
Definitely. Next question we've got, what advice would you give to your younger self?
Ooh, probably not thinking I can do everything myself without leaning on other people to do it, because sometimes you kind of get ahead of yourself and go, and I'm a bit like out there and doing it. You need people to be around you and share that workload, because everybody's got something in there. So I think if anything going forward, I need to be more of a team player. And I do that locally with my colleagues, but sometimes you go off there and do what you're doing, and you just carry on with it. So I think sometimes you've got to remember that there's other people around who can help you and work with you.
Definitely. Like playing to your strengths.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I know what you
definitely.
mean. And last question we've got, is there a burning issue in Wigan that you would really like to focus on at the moment?
I think all the things that Wigan's 2027 will be key in Wigan. To Wigan and the borough, Wigan and Leigh. So we've got a wide borough. Don't forget, we're the biggest borough outside of Manchester. 320,000 people live in the borough. So as a cabinet member, you actually cover all them people. They don't all knock on my door every day, hopefully, and they don't all ring me every day. But I think naturally we've got the investment in the town centre, which will be coming to fruition in 2027. We've got the investment at AR Country Park coming at the end of 2027. The levelling up money in Leigh, that'll all come that 2027. And Ashton, so there's lots and lots of things. We've got lots of stuff happening at Pennington. So I think what people will look at now, there's bits of building sites going on and work going on. You'll see a massive development of things changing. Shopping habits have changed. You'll know as a younger person, online shopping is the key rather than going to shops. And, that's just the way people kind of say, there's no shops anymore. But that's the way that the world's moved. But we've got to make town centres more amenable to people. So it's the nightlife, it's more social stuff, and them niche shops where people couldn't buy online. And I think there's an opportunity there for younger people to kind of set smaller businesses up. But we'll have that in Wigan, we'll have that in Leigh. It'll be a fantastic thing for people. At the moment, we have something like 750,000 visitors per year going to AL. That's without the all being done. Once that's done, we're hoping that takes us well over the million mark, but actually makes money. Because at the end of the day, things have got to make money and got to wash the face. Not the oldest system of the council going back many, many years where it was just council money and it didn't matter. It really matters now. The leader of the council drums into the cabinet and councillors, we've got to make money. And his catchphrase is, don't be afraid of making money, because we've got to pay our way and everybody's got to do that because it's for the benefit of the community and the town.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good and something to look forward to for the future, definitely. That's all the questions I've got for you.
Can I ask you a question,
Yeah,
Rebecca?
of course
Actually, yes, I'll put you on the spot there.
Yeah.
Naturally, you're at Wigan and Leigh College. You're doing photography. What's your aim coming out of that?
Well, at first I didn't really know what I wanted to do coming into college. I just did something that I sort of enjoy. So I'm doing photography at the minute. But I've recently just applied to university, going into filmmaking. It's helped me to find what I want to do. And it's definitely given me a path to carry on into the future, which I didn't see before. So, yeah.
I think one of the things we can probably help you with, and other people in the college, is some shadowing with people in the council.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think we'll open that up to the college. We'll speak to Maxime and people because I think there's a real advantage for all of us to learn there. And if I can probably give you an example, at AL at the moment, the building works within AL is massive, but the head of the capital team at AL is a girl called Ellie. She's 29 years old. She lives in Leigh, and she's running that capital project inside AL, which I think is fabulous. Yeah. Not because she's a young lady, because she's capable, she can hold her own, she knows her stuff, so it's not a matter of going, oh, we put a young lady in there. She's got an apprentice with her called Steph. Yeah. Got to mention these because they're really... and Steph had gone to college. I think she came here, actually. She studied hair and beauty. She realised she wanted to do something different. Yeah. She came to AL, applied for an apprenticeship. They said one of her jobs would be invoicing, and her first thing was, I don't even know what an invoice is. She's now... lives and breathes the project. She's learning about the capital programme. She's learning about building. She's doing some of the media stuff for me at AL and all the programmes. Fantastic. Anybody can achieve whatever they want to achieve. When I was at school, I wasn't the greatest at school. I didn't study very well. I did basics, and wasn't really kind of great at that. But you can achieve whatever you want to achieve going forward and have the confidence. But I think there's probably a couple of things really of like who've influenced me going forward. And my dad, who died at a really early age because he had an heart disease, so he died at the age of 53. He wasn't into politics, he wasn't into speaking, but he had common decency of how he spoke to people and how he treated people, and he was soft if anything. He always saw the good in people, and I think that instilled that into me of treat people nice and you'll get that paid back to you really. But it costs nothing to say thank you and treat people. But in a political world, I've worked with two leaders, Lord Peter Smith and David Molyneux, who's the leader of the council at the moment. And not just because they're the leaders, they've really helped me, because in life you always get hurdles, and I've had family illnesses and where they've supported me on things like that, but also supported my career development and been supported, but also had the courage to say, that's not right, you're doing that wrong, or do this a different way, or whatever. And I think you need that leadership element from the council and them kind of people who's in higher places. They've learned it, they've done that, but also they take your things on view and go, no, we can learn from you as well. So I think we can all take that on board really moving forward, but don't be afraid of changing your track where you're going to, because the track's a different one as you come down in life, so it's really interesting.
I do agree. You never know where you end up.
No, you don't.
It's all
you
about
don't.
the passion.
It is, and do what makes you happy. Life's very short, so make sure you're happy and keep smiling, which you're smiling all day today, so it's good. It's good. It's good. Been good talking to you.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you. No, thanks for asking. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's my intro to the podcast, which are coming up. And that's it. Thanks to Rebecca, who's been asking me some intriguing questions of why I'm doing it. I think it's going to be really important moving forward. We're going to speak to people within the community, nationally, internationally, you name it. There's going to be lots of interesting people. But what we want to do is find facts about people that you won't know more than the run-of-the-mill. But stay tuned. We've got some really exciting people lined up over the next few months, and hopefully you all get something out of it. And you never know, if you want to apply to join our podcast, you can do. So ready and willing, and I'm Chris Reedy, so look forward to hearing from you all.